news tonight. Reactions trail arrival of COVID-19 vaccines. AMAC flags off APC revalidation and registration exercise. And Creme de la Creme honors veteran broadcaster on double celebrations.
Hello and welcome to the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitobo. Close to 4 million doses of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines arrived the country from the COVAX facility. With the rollout yet to commence, reactions have continued to trail its arrival. Toibat Anifowoshe gathered some of these reactions.
The first batch of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines arrived the nation's capital yesterday, and Nigerians have continued to react over the development. Asma Oladan says she has a deep fear of contracting COVID-19, but the fact that the vaccine is close to home gives her a huge relief.
I think now my phobia will reduce since I know, okay, at least there's something that I can take to prevent me from getting the infection.
Many others are equally delighted about the arrival.
If administering the vaccine is going to be a lasting solution to the COVID-19, I think it's a welcome development.
As a concerned Nigeria, it's a welcome development.
For now, let's see. Let's start it. Let's start taking it first. Let's see what the result will be. Yeah.
Well, I think if it's okay, if it's helping, it's welcome.
While many say the arrival of the vaccine is a welcome development, others are, however, concerned about its distribution, calling on relevant stakeholders to monitor and ensure that its distribution is not abused. In Abuja, Toiba Anifoshe, NTA News.
Meanwhile, figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 2nd March 2021, indicates 40 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 19,274, while active cases stand at 7,211, and the number of discharged cases in the territory now stands at 11,914, and sadly, 149 deaths have been recorded in the FCT. The Abuja Environmental Protection Board and other relevant agencies of the FCT administration have been mandated to always ensure that the Umaru Musa Yar-Adua Expressway is kept clean. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello gave this order when he led heads of relevant agencies to inspect and assess the sanitary condition of the expressway. Shuaibu Onozi Yakubu tells us more.
This inspection by the FCT minister is to see for himself the level of compliance to an earlier directive against using pedestrian bridges as trading centers. The minister commended the efforts put in place by the relevant agencies to rid the road corridor and pedestrian bridges of environmental nuisance along the ever-busy expressway and called for the sustenance of this effort. Meanwhile, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board has restated its commitment to ensure the cleanliness of the nation's capital city.
All traders on the pedestrian walkways have been cleared, and the minister gave us a hand of applause. In fact, that does not mean that we should go and sleep. So we promised him that we are going to sustain that, and we must sustain it. I've already directed all my officers, including the police, to stand on their feet and make sure that we sustain that gesture. We will not allow the minister to go there and see traders again on the walkways.
The assessment tour took the FCT minister through the entire length of the Umaru Musa Yar-Adua Expressway. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Chairman Abuja Municipal Area Council Abdullahi Adamu Candido has flagged off the APC revalidation and registration exercise in Amak with a call on residents and Nigerians to continue to support the government of the day and unite for the purpose of meaningful growth and development, which he says the APC government has demonstrated. Abdullahi Ajia reports that other leaders and stalwarts of the party also renewed their membership.
The All Progressives Congress revalidation and registration exercise for Abuja Municipal Area Council commenced in earnest with the AMAC chairman Abdullahi Adamu Candido in his polling unit 001 Jiwa Ward, kickstarting the process that signaled the takeoff in other wards and polling units of the council. Candido, who reaffirmed commitment to the ideals of the party, urged members to embrace democratic values during and after the exercise.
We have done so much through Mr. President and all organs of our government that APC is in saddle. Nigerians must be patient enough to realize that at the end of it all of us are going to smile.
And for 2014 to 2021, you know, some younger generations have grew up, they have passed the age of 18. So they should register them now. They have chance to vote and be voted for.
AMAC Vice Chairman Lawrence Anuchuku was at Gwarimpa Life Camp Polling Unit 004 for the exercise, while Senator Khairat Gwadabe completed the ritual at the City Center Polling Unit 021, where both commended the process.
Citizens make sure they register and they participate at their ward meetings and use that level to call the respective governance structures to order.
It's the only way you are part of the system that you can change the system. If you are not part of the system, you can only complain, and your complaint will do little or nothing.
For APC stalwart and former FCT coordinator Satellite Town Development Department, Ishaku Tankuya Mao, who revalidated his membership at polling unit 010 Mabushi, says the process is long overdue for an up-to-date register.
By seeing what the present administration is doing, many people are leaving PDP, other parties to join APC.
I've registered today to join other Nigerian leaders that have vision and mission for Nigerian that will take Nigerian to a greater height.
All the party faithful who participated at the exercise said it will exceed expectations considering the interest expressed so far from old and new members. Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
I'm about to write my senior WAEC. I'm trying to do better than what I did in my junior WAEC.
When it's time to write an exam that's based off of everything you've learned and you realize that you don't know enough, it's pretty scary.
Before you lesson, I wasn't studying so effectively. Thanks to my amazing dad, when he found out about you lesson, we decided to just give it a try.
So I downloaded the app and I found myself really understanding.
I was able to depend on them to teach me, explain stuff to me so I would understand it easier.
There is an app that can help you every day, whenever you need it, and it's really good at what it does.
U-Lesson for exam champions. Download now on Google Play Store and subscribe.
Talking health, the number of people living with unaddressed hearing loss and ear diseases around the world would no longer be a challenge as global actions are being taken to address hearing loss in everyone. Deborah Gazazi-Maika reports that World Hearing Day is marked 3rd March annually.
1 in every 4 persons will live with some degree of hearing loss by the year 2050. This warning is coming from the World Health Organization's WHO, and what could have led to this is what an ear, nose and throat expert, Dr. Wanda Brown, explained.
People ignorantly and some kind of, they associate some mystic things, so we want to demystify some of these things that people do. Our community, you see some children that the parents will continue to beat them if they thinking they are stubborn because they are not hearing.
He advised that Nigerian government can integrate some of the hearing care programs in its national policies. As observed by the ENT doctor, treatment of ear impairments is cost effective.
We also want early treatment and government involvement in some of these packages too. Like I've observed that in National Health Insurance Scheme. Things like hearing aids are not happening.
Commemorating the 2021 World Hearing Day, screen, rehabilitate, and communicate is the focus, recommending that screening exercise should be carried out. Deborah Gazajin-Micah, NTA News.
To foster unity among the Igbira-speaking people who have settled in different states across the country, a non-governmental organization, the Ohiku Igbira Descendants Union, held a conference in Abuja. Shuaibu Noze Yakubu reports that the conference has the theme, Ibiras, who are we, where are we, and where do we want to be? The reports.
Questions are asked. What use is this? We speak the same basic language, but the dialectal differences are there. How can we ever bring ourselves together?
Historically, the origin of the Igbira-speaking people is from the Kwararafa Kingdom. The Igbiras are settled in various states across the country, like the Igbira Koto Miakan in Kogi, Nasarawa and FCT, Igbira Okpete in Kogi State, and Igbira Etuno in Edo State. This conference by the Ohiku Igbira Descendant Union seeks to, among other things, address issues surrounding unity and common destiny of Igbira-speaking people in Nigeria.
We have not come together collectively as an ethnic group. We have not looked at, we have not followed the examples of our other Kwararafa brothers who, for very good reasons, have different dialectical differences, but they call themselves by one name.
They have coined the name Igbira for the three Igbira-speaking race. That is the Igara, not Igala, Igara, Igbira Koto, and Igbira Pete. So it means that they will now see themselves as one.
Coming together in a forum like this is to relate to one another, because it's often said that blood is thicker than water.
The theme, Igbiras, who are we, where are we, and where do we want to be, is a call towards stimulating socio-political collaboration and unification of the entire Igbira nation.
When we are together, we'll be more formidable, and we can actually achieve, even in terms of development, not just for ourselves, but for the nation.
We do hope, emerging from this particular meeting, will bring us further together to know ourselves, and will make us to be able to discuss far more important programs that will unify us.
It will benefit us politically, economically, educationally, and culturally. That
the Ohiku Igbira Descendant Union is a socio-cultural organization with the aim of uniting the Igbira-speaking people settled in different states of the country. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
It was birthday bash and retirement reception held in honor of Alhaji Abdul Hakim Ayinde Shuaga in Abuja. Wofa Ibo was there and now reports.
It was celebration galore as friends, well-wishers, and family gathered to celebrate one of their own, a veteran broadcaster who made his mark with the national television, Nigerian Television Authority, Ayinde Shuaga, who was also on the network news for decades and served in many capacities. He was the manager news, NTA Channel 5, and general manager, NTA Katsina, and retired as deputy director news. In recognition of his meritorious service, Senator Ita Enang, special advisor to the president on Niger Delta affairs, hosted him to a birthday and dinner celebration in his residence in Abuja.
Having attained the age of 60 and still looking young straight, he has not retired. He has simply left civil service, graduating into the public service.
It's an example to younger journalists. It's not about what you get from people. It's about what you give and putting your best into the profession.
For Ayinde, what does attaining 70 years and successful public service mean to him?
I count myself a lucky man, and I thank God for what I've been able to do.
NT has given me so much opportunity to realize myself professionally. So I'm grateful.
The event was a convergence of top-notch and creme de la creme of the society, as well as family, friends, and colleagues who described the celebrant as an epitome of oneness and selfless service, worthy of emulation, a man who contributed to humanity, especially through broadcasting. He joined in 1987.
He is somebody who is an easygoing and a very pleasant person to work with.
It is said that life actually begins at 60. And I believe that in this life can begin now, especially that he's retiring from formal employment.
I'm excited that my dad has reached this milestone, and I pray that God sustains him and gives him the best.
In all, well-wishers prayed that he continuously prosper even as he engages his wealth of experience in the private sector. Wafa Ibo, NTA News.
And on sports scene, the Nigerian Football Federation has officially confirmed the kickoff dates and times for the national team's final 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifiers, and Nigeria's Olajide Omotayo knocked out of the World Table Tennis Tournament as former Cardiff City midfielder Peter Whittingham died after falling downstairs at a pub following a drunken play fight with friends. Details with Asabe Tanimu Williams on Sports Brief.
The Super Eagles Match Day 5 fixture will be held in capital Republic of Benin, Port Novo on Saturday, March 27th, with kickoff slated for 1700 hours. Though the match venue for the game's Day 6 fixture has not been disclosed, it is scheduled to hold at Teslim Balogun Stadium. Meanwhile, Omotayo, despite a defeat in the second round, became the first African player to win a game at the new World Table Tennis Contender Tournament. Omotayo was knocked out in the second stage of the preliminary round by Sweden's Anton Karlberg 3-2. In another development, England are due to host New Zealand in second match of two-test series at Edgbaston on June 10th. Outdoor venue set to permit maximum of 4,000 fans from May 17th, but organizers hope use of testing and vaccine certificates will lead to increased limits. And sadly, Whittingham, former Cardiff City midfielder, suffered a traumatic head injury at Park Hotel pub and died 11 days after failing to regain consciousness. With Sports Brief, Asabe Tanimu Williams, NTA News.
And before we go, a quick reminder. Please keep safe as COVID-19 is real. That concludes the news in English. Do stand by for the translations. Good night.
Aza ba jire ba yemi ba ce ba wai wize koyin kwa wai in wona na yiwo abada anje biji sasi isha ndaje zuma wone wa ko ba ngai Minister akinzin na Mohamed Musa Bello an ko gan sapa no ababa jin finu ba kun bedonu azada gbaje no atanji ba nanu akinzin na ye nge ba kpege zokoluko Umar Musa yar aduaya ko shilo nda ayoshi ntna jejeti Shaibu Onuze Yakubu wona le sheba we be na bedai wa gange minister we dade no sai no we bi sheba we nlo zokoluko ye we bi sheba no walo we ye she ababa jin sepanya ba wulo wo shesheba ko jewulo walo wo pe ko ajwi begbotulo ngo beganu anpei avunya nge aza bate jin ayan kunpe no zokoluko aza yin bate ze abeban abwazeba agbodo no apdada jin ba diayun ama wo sisi be wakusa berkachi sepaye kwen ntigana abawaje na bayin agba bakudawo gabe sepaya na yo Hassan wa ngoge wo wazai ba mbache na wana danelo ba yege ekinzi ne ko shilo nda ayeshi nsepa ababajia Shipayeda municipal gwamnati bibi ekinzi danya Abdullahi Adamu Kandido nnaye wala ayeka guya party APC ya mbedai nge aza nu ekinzi na beda eyitinye ba kumbe na bai ba ka aye party gwamnati ya nu wa ngage party ekwen ko belo nu abyeyi kwenjin atutun amanailo nanu abaye nanu nu aye kabaye aza mwabeye bakube Abdullahi Ajia wona lesheba webe na bedai wa ngage aza nagban mwabe party ya bakube aye kaba ba shan abaye kaka nje Amak Simpayeda Mahin na yo Lawrence Onochukwu Senator Kairat Godebe Bedo Ishaku Tanko Yamawe Amaje Abuwa Olelanu Saisu.
I'm about to write my senior WAEC. I'm trying to do better than what I did in my junior WAEC.
When it's time to write an exam that's based off of everything you've learned and you realize that you don't know enough, it's pretty scary.
Before you lesson, I wasn't studying too effectively. Thanks to my amazing dad, when he found out about you lesson, we decided to just give it a try.
So I downloaded the app and I found myself really understanding.
I was able to depend on them to teach me, explain stuff to me so I would understand it easier.
There is an app that can help you every day, whenever you need it, and it's really good at what it does.
ULesson for exam champions. Download now on Google Play Store and subscribe.
Masu kallon mu barkanmu da yammaci ga fasarar takaitattun labarai mai karantawa Isiyaku Buhari Suleja. Ministan babban birnin tarayya Muhammad Musa Bello ya yi kira ga ma'aikatan hukumar tsaftace muhalli na babban birnin tarayya da su tabbatar da cewa babban hanyar Umaru Musa Yar'adua a kowane lokaci yana cikin tsaftacewa. Wakilinmu Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu ya rawaito mana cewa ministan ya bayar da wannan umarni ne a lokacin da ya jagoranci tawagar hukumar don ziyarar gani da ido da kuma ganin yanayi da wajajen yake. Shugaban hukumar tsaftace muhalli ya bayyana cewa a shirye suke don ganin sun tsaftace babban birnin tarayya. Shugaban karamar hukumar Abuja Municipal Abdullahi Adamu Kandido ya kaddamar da fara sabunta da kuma rajistan amsar katin jam'iyyar APC. Wakilinmu Abdullahi Ajiya ya ruwaito mana cewa a lokacin da yake kaddamarwa ya yi kira ga al'ummarsa da kuma 'yan Najeriya da su ci gaba da baiwa gwamnatin goyon baya da kuma haɗin kai domin samun ci gaba da yake kaddamar farawa ne a gundumarsa na mai lamba 1 a Juwa, wanda daga lokacin mambobin jam'iyyarsa da masu ruwa da tsaki sun ci gaba da sabunta katinsu. Jama'a, ƙarshen fasarar takaitattun labaran kenan, mu kwana lafiya.
Nnọọ n'akụkọ ụwa nke taa, aha m bụ Rachel Ifi Ono. Tọọ ntị n'ala nara anyị akụkọ anyị ji bịa n'uhuruchi a. Minista n'isi ala anyị Muhammad Musa Bello enyela ụlọọrụ na-ahụ maka mkpocha na nzacha iwu ka ha hụ na edobere okporo ụzọ onye chịburu ala anyị Umaru Musa Yar'Adua ọcha oge niile. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu mere ka anyị mata na ya bụ minista kwuru nke a mgbe ya na ndị isi ụlọọrụ metụtara mkpocha na nzacha gagharịrị n'isi ala anyị inyocha etu esi edobe okporo ụzọ ọcha. Ụlọọrụ na-ahụ maka mkpocha na nzacha n'isi ala anyị gosipụtakwara njikere ha maka ya bụ ọrụ ma kwekwe nkwa na ha ga-edobe isi ala anyị ọcha kwa ụbọchị. otu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị akpọrọ APC amalitere inye kaadị ọhụrụ maka ọchịchị na-abịa n'ọdịnihu. Abdullahi Ajiya wetara akụkọ na onyeisi oche n'ime okpuru ọchịchị Amak Abdullahi Adamu Kandido amalitela nke a ma kpọkuo ndị obibi isi ala anyị niile nakwa ala anyị gbaa gburugburu ka ha kwado ọchịchị ala anyị site n'ijikọ aka rụkọọ ọrụ ọnụ maka uto na ọganihu ala anyị. O kwekwara nghọta na onye na-esote onye isi oche na ya bụ Amak Lawrence Ọnụchukwu wetara kaadị ọhụrụ nke ya n'ogige anọ ha dị na Gwarimpa Life Camp Abuja. Onye ọma na-ege ntị, ebe a ka anyị ga-apịachi akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Chebirekwa anyị n'oge a echi niile. Ndewo.
ẹlẹ́mbẹ̀ wo ẹ̀yin ìlú wa ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìpínlẹ̀ karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín. Mobọ́lájí Mátì ni oníròyìn. Aláṣẹ ìlú Àbújá Muhammadu Musa Bello ti pa á láṣẹ wípé òpópónà márosẹ̀ Umaru Musa Yar'Adua tí gbogbogbò mọ̀ sí ojú ọ̀nà ọkọ̀ òfurufú máa wà ní mímọ́ lóòrèkóòrè. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Ṣọ́ábùnọ̀sẹ̀ Yakubu ròyìn wípé aláṣẹ Bello pa àṣẹ ọ̀hún bí ó ti ṣíwájú ìrìn àjò àbẹ̀wò sí ojú ọ̀nà márosẹ̀ ọ̀hún àti àwọn afárá ẹlẹ́sẹ̀. Ó rọ ìgbìmọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe àmójútó ìlú àyíká ìlú Àbújá àti àwọn ẹmẹ̀wà rẹ̀ láti rí i dájú wípé ìmọ́tótó òpópónà ọ̀hún kò jẹ wọ́n lógún. Abdullahi Hasan, ọ̀gá àgbà àjọ tó ń ṣe ìmójútó àyíká ìlú Àbújá, sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wípé àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ yóò túbọ̀ tẹpámọ́ṣẹ́ láti rí i wípé àṣẹ ọ̀hún wáyé. Alága ìjọba àbílẹ̀ Hamad Abdullahi Adamu Kandido ti ṣíṣọ lójú ètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àti láti fìdí múlẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alámì ọwọ̀ yẹn APC. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Abdullahi Ajiya ròyìn wípé alága Kandido fi àkókò ọ̀hún ké sí gbogbo àwọn tó ń gbé ìlú Àbújá àti ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè pátá wípé kí wọ́n ti ìjọba lẹ́yìn, kí wọ́n fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan fún ìlọsíwájú àti ìdàgbàsókè èyí tí ìjọba lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí ti fi ń hàn. Àwọn aṣíwájú àti àwọn ènìyàn jàǹkànjàǹkàn ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀hún ni wọ́n kópa nínú ètò ọ̀hún. Kì í dùn kó pọ̀, ṣéun ni ọbẹ̀ oge. Títí ìwòye ọ̀la, Ojúmọ́ Ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.